The Chainsaw Man anime has about 4 episodes under its belt as of this recording, and honestly, the adaptation has been flawless. Just Mappa honestly has captured the entire presence and the world of Chainsaw Man pretty damn good. I think honestly one of the standout points of their animation is the lighting. For example, the way they showcase the city at night or whenever the sun set, or maybe just in certain hallways, it feels so real. Like it feels like you're a part of wherever they're at. Also, the usage of 3D and CG is top freaking notch. Not only with Denji's Chainsaw Man form, as that looks better the more he uses it, but you could definitely tell there's like certain motions and movement where if it's anything, you can see a little bit of the CG, but it really looks like rotoscope. Like just some of them moving their fingers or the way they'll maybe like open the door. It feels almost so realistic that it has to be somewhere of some use of like a camera or like I said, rotoscope. And that is very difficult to use. So it's really impressive how they use this and really a lot of their animes, because they've done it in God High School. Was the first time I seen it. They used it a couple times in ALT season 4, mainly the beginning. And I want to say a little bit of JJK, but Mappa, they definitely use rotoscope really well. In terms of adapting some of these chapters, I have seen that they did skip specifically chapter 2 with the Muscle Devil, but I'm not exactly mad about it because the Muscle Devil was essentially building up more of Denji and Makima's relationship, which honestly they can go back at any time through like a flashback if they want to. Because one thing I've noticed with Mappa is that during this whole adaptation is they might be adding little scenes or taking away certain parts of the manga so that way certain things can flow well. Perfect example was actually the recent episode. Everything with Aki and how you see his morning routine, you see him getting himself ready in the morning, brushing his teeth, the laundry, the breakfast, all of that, the coffee, and then you transition to him answering Denji for what's going to be for lunch, and then you hear Power banging on the door and all that just racket going crazy, because in the manga it was really short. I think you saw like a couple panels and then it just goes into Power. So and that fits because you see how calm and how much of a development it was for Denji living with Aki, and then he gets another problem and Power's introduction is very abrupt and commanding, as she brings a level of just almost erratic excitement. And the voice acting is honestly perfect. I absolutely adore Foru. I don't know if I'm saying her name correctly, but she's the voice of Jolene Forus. Hopefully I said that correctly, but she also voices Power. Her voice is just so distinct and she has a lot of range with it. And what she's doing with Power and giving her this kind of like off-putting childish manner in her voices, she's doing a really good job bringing Power to life. Same for Denji's voice actor, as I believe they did say this is like his first major role or his first role in an anime period as a voice actor, which he's doing really good work himself. I think honestly, I was looking to see like how raspy Denji's voice came off, because he always kind of felt like in the manga like Denji would kind of have this young raspy voice, and he has a little bit of that, but honestly it really does fit. That's a good job for that as well. Same for Makima. I expected Makima's voice to sound, it had to be something that was very someone that you can just listen to, and it has to be like, oh, she can command you or she can kind of just reel you in, and essentially just basically someone with a submissive voice. A lot of people want her to have like a deep kind of like seductive voice. I get it, but honestly this one sounds more realistic, because realistically you would listen to someone and kind of give them their respect with a voice like that instead of trying to give her like a sexy type voice. I just don't think that would have fit. But the action scenes as well have been, honestly, Mappa and action scenes, that's kind of like their bread and butter. They know what they're doing with that. Ever since I saw not even got to high school really, but got to high school was my first kind of exposure to them. I went back and saw the Dororo and the adaptation for that, and I saw how they used some of like the sword play in that one. I knew this is definitely what you can expect from Mappa. They're gonna be pretty creative, and they might add certain things to make the fights kind of flow really well, and you get that obviously in all throughout these first 4 episodes. Even in the first episode with the way Denji was walking as he was dying, comes back, and that delay with the chainsaw, you hear the chainsaw revving and it's like a pause, and in the middle of the action it's moving so fast that it's like Denji's stumbling, and that little aspect of seeing him stumble while he's trying to fight off these devils because he just got this power, was like that little detail right there was really cool. And in episode 4, you get the Sakuga, the normal ones that you see where the camera's moving, the character's moving pretty fast, there's a lot going on. Obviously you get that, but then you get like these quick little moments like Aki summoning Kon, and it was like very vibrant and explosive. And that was one thing I was really surprised is how colorful the adaptation has been, because we know we have the digital color version of Chainsaw Man, and I love how much color they put in there. They use a lot of different ranges of color throughout the whole series, and mainly when it comes to like the blood and the gore, it's not all just red, because a lot of the devils have different colors. Like the bad devil had like these purplish type organs, and then the leech devil had like this bright red with a little bit of pink or burgundy in there. Like it's very vibrant, and I'm liking that, because Chainsaw Man, when you first read it, you wouldn't think, oh, this is gonna have like a lot of color to it, or this is going to be a series that is just eye-catching, because originally it's not kind of like that. You really don't see that until you look at like the volume covers. But then when, you know, the digital adaptation came out and we saw some of the trailers as well, we can see, oh, it's going to be a lot to expect in terms of just how everything looks. And I have to say this, I think Chainsaw Man to me has the best rollout for an anime I think I've ever seen, because not only has basically with a rollout, if you don't know what that is, it's basically just promotion and how the anime is kind of marketed throughout its entire excursion. And man, from the trailer, which first of all, Chainsaw Man already had like a rabid fan base. Like even before the anime came out, there was millions of copies on shelves. Like everyone was trying to get to this series, because around like the end of it, everybody was getting interested in it. They kept hearing the buzz around it, and Viz promoted it a lot too in their websites and their apps. As soon as the anime was announced, you got Mappa on there. Everybody loves Mappa, saying, because they obviously had Jujutsu Kaisen under their belt as well as Attack on Titan, so everybody's got high expectations. You put out that first trailer, you automatically show Denji at the end with his Chainsaw Man form. Everybody's like, oh, what is this? Then you get to the second one, and the second one shows even more of what to expect of how this is going to look, and even a little bit into Denji's character, which I will say his portrayal in the anime has been spot on, showing just how much of like these little goals mean to him compared to everyone else. I think they've done a really good job at showcasing that. But once this anime came out, and I don't get to the anime until like later in the day because I have work and whatnot, but from me just hearing, oh, it crashed again, like the Crunchyroll website, it just lets me know, okay, yeah, this anime for up until these 12 episodes is going to be huge. And then obviously you got the manga that's constantly getting those numbers out, which you want to buy the manga, that's how you support the author. You get the manga going, you got, you know, the figures, you got the other stuff, the merch, the t-shirts, all of that coming out. And then even for the people who are caught up with the manga like myself, you have Chainsaw Man Part 2 with everything that's going on, and that's been really damn good, to say so the least. So it's been really fun, because honestly, in terms of rollouts between Chainsaw Man, MHA, and like not Demon Slayer, more so Dragon Ball Z or Attack on Titan, those other rollouts were unbelievable when you go back and watch them, but this one is definitely top notch. But overall, this is just a 10 out of 10 perfect anime. I honestly don't know how you get an adaptation like this, because I had the same thing with JJK when I went back and reread season 1 and rewatched the things that were in it. It's literally perfect. There's nothing they could do to make it even better, and they've captured just the grunge and subtle introspectiveness that is this story, and it's set in modern Tokyo. You get all of that, and honestly, Fujimoto described it perfectly. If you don't know, Fujimoto is the creator, he's the author of Chainsaw Man, and Dorohedoro and Jujutsu Kaisen, those are the two series that I believe he was asked in the interview, like, he was like, describe your series, and he like playfully was like, well, it's those two series, and it's kind of like a clone if you just put them together, and that's basically what my story is. And either way, Chainsaw Man just takes up a life of its own. It's honestly an enigma to me in the anime and manga just genre, especially the shonen demographic, because that thing just stands out like a sore thumb as like, wow, this is different from almost everything in the manga or just in the whole Shonen Jump category. So yeah, 4 out of 4. I mean, great episode so far. 8 more to go. Looking forward to it. I want to say, I seen someone said they're going to go up to like chapter 30-ish, which around 30 is kind of where it really takes off. So I'm looking forward to it. And for the manga readers, you know, episode 5 is really when things start to get a little interesting with these other characters. So yeah, I'll let y'all in the next one. Peace.